Hold on to my straw hat, folks, because Oda just flipped One Piece on its head and yeeted it into the Grand Line upside down. After decades of us piecing together breadcrumbs like crazed treasure hunters, I'm finally cracking open the secrets of the Void Century. And trust me, it's big. Bigger than Big Mom's snack stash. This isn't just your average chapter breakdown. I'm about to dive headfirst into a hidden history so game-changing, it'll make you question if Joy Boy was even the fun-loving dude we thought he was, or if Emu's been pulling a Doflamingo this whole time. If you've been sailing with Luffy and the crew since day one, well, grab some cola for Frankie's tank, because things are about to get super wild. Chapter 1115 is nothing short of a paradigm shift. We're talking revelations that raise more questions than answers, turning the story's foundation on its head. Forget the treasure hunt, forget the Yonko. We're now questioning whether Joy Boy was even the hero we've been rooting for. And what about Emu? Could they have been the real protector of the world all along? Before I dive into the chaos, if you're enjoying the content and want to stay ahead of every mind-blowing twist, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. This is the place for all things One Piece, and things are only going to get crazier from here. Now that I've covered Vegapunk's bombshell about sea levels, let's shift gears and focus on Joy Boy's legacy. Since Vegapunk's broadcast started a couple of chapters back, he's been dropping bombshells like it's nothing. But what he revealed in chapter 1115 might be his biggest truth bomb yet. The world of One Piece isn't just going to change. It's on the brink of sinking into the ocean. Vegapunk confirmed that sea levels have been rising for centuries and are now about to hit critical mass. And it all ties back to the war between Joy Boy and the 20 allied kingdoms. Let's talk about Joy Boy. Vegapunk dropped a massive reveal. Joy Boy wasn't the mythical sun god Nika. He was his own person, from a different era. And here's the kicker. He's recognized as the first pirate in history. That's right, the first pirate. Now, if you're like me, you're wondering what that means for Luffy, who has always been paralleled with Joy Boy. Does that mean Luffy's dream to become the Pirate King is something Joy Boy never achieved? Or was Joy Boy's destiny something even greater? Remember the silhouette of Joy Boy that Oda teased us with? We didn't get a full reveal, but we can already tell a few things. Joy Boy seems to have had the same Nika awakening as Luffy, which means the Gomu Gomu no Mi is even more significant than we thought. But was Joy Boy fighting for freedom, or was he a force of chaos that ultimately contributed to the destruction of the world? This brings me to Emu, a character shrouded in mystery, whose motivations are now even more confusing. Vegapunk hinted that the 20 kingdoms weren't necessarily evil. They were defending their vision of order. So, is Emu the villain? Or was Emu actually trying to protect the world from the chaos unleashed by Joy Boy's ideals? We can't discuss chapter 1115 without touching on the ancient weapon. Vegapunk confirmed that the rising sea levels were directly caused by the ancient weapons during the Great War. The One Piece world wasn't always an archipelago. It used to be covered by vast continents. But after the war, those continents were drowned, leaving only the islands we see today. This adds a whole new layer to the mystery of these ancient weapons. We know Emu used one of them, possibly Uranus, to wipe out Lulusia. But what role did Poseidon and Pluton play? And how does this connect to Luffy's journey? In case you need a refresher, Poseidon, linked to Shirahoshi, can control the Sea Kings. But we still don't know how that ties into the larger narrative. Pluton, said to be hidden in Wano, is another major piece of the puzzle. What kind of weapon is Pluton? And why is it so crucial to the future of the world? Another major revelation in this chapter is that Joy Boy's defeat wasn't just a battle lost. It was the turning point that led to the world government's rise. The 20 allied kingdoms had to team up to defeat him because Joy Boy's side was that powerful. This implies that Joy Boy wasn't just some freedom fighter. He and his allies were a serious threat, one so dangerous that the entire world had to unite to stop them. What was Joy Boy's ultimate goal? If Vegapunk is right, and this war was less about good versus evil and more about freedom versus order, then Joy Boy's fight might have been way more complex than we realized. Was he trying to free the world from tyranny? Or was he too reckless with his power? causing more harm than good. And let me not forget Vegapunk's cryptic line, "We still don't know who was right." This suggests that even 800 years later, no one truly understands the full story of the Great War. Could this mean that the One Piece itself is connected to the truth of this conflict? Is it possible that my boy Luffy's journey to become the Pirate King is about to lead him into the same moral crossroads Joy Boy faced centuries ago? As much as this chapter gave us, it left us with a mountain of questions. We are seeing the beginnings of a massive clash between the old world and the new one Luffy is creating. And that clash is likely going to involve not just the world government and the revolutionaries, but the ancient weapons, the Sea Kings, and whatever the true nature of the One Piece is. Chapter 1115 is one of those pivotal moments that reminds me why One Piece is more than just a pirate adventure. It's a story about history, freedom, and the consequences of unchecked power. And now, I'm going to dive even deeper into this mind-bending lore. Honestly, with everything that's been going on, Shanks appearing, Luffy in Gear 5th, it's no wonder the reveal about Pluton didn't shake the fandom as much as it should have. But in hindsight, Oda dropped some very peculiar hints that have got me thinking. Why those exact words? First, we've got Sukiyaki saying Pluton is sleeping, and that removing Wano's borders would set it free. That kinda makes it sound like Pluton isn't just some weapon. It might actually be alive. I mean, what if Pluton is some sort of living creature, captured and sealed within Wano's walls? Oda did show us that giant cave entrance at the base of Mount Fuji underwater, after all. So now we've got to ask, why would ancient Wano trap Pluton in the first place? And even more curiously, why did Kazuki Oden, after learning the truth of the Void Century, think it'd be a good idea to set it free? Maybe Wano was protecting the world from Pluton all along, keeping it from falling into the wrong hands. World government. And now that Luffy's awakened his Nika powers and is, in a way, Joy Boy reborn, perhaps Oden believed that Luffy could use Pluton to free the world from tyranny. Sounds epic, right? Except there's a little problem. These ancient weapons, they already caused the world to be destroyed and flooded once before. So what's to say using them again won't lead to even bigger chaos? Sure, Luffy wouldn't do that on purpose. But who's to say unintended consequences aren't part of the deal when you start playing with world-ending toys? My guess is, Luffy's going to have to figure out how to reverse the flood that happened during the Void Century, not just add more destruction. And all of this brings me back to the million-berry question. Who was Joy Boy really? What did he want? And what went down with him? Well, Chapter 1115 has probably given us the most concrete clues yet. Joy Boy seems to have been born into an ancient, technologically advanced kingdom. Much like Luffy, he awakened the Nika powers, and he's often referred to as the first pirate. That title suggests he broke some kind of major rule. Maybe something as simple as venturing out to sea in a world where land travel was the norm. Now, Joy Boy might have sailed the world before the seas rose, visiting different continents and forging connections with various civilizations. And it's pretty likely that he and his crew created the legendary song Think Sake, which has been theorized to hold major significance in the One Piece world. I mean, the lyrics about the sun and moon rising in harmony just beg to be analyzed. I could honestly do a whole breakdown on that alone. Comment below if you'd want that video. But for now, let's keep moving. There are two major possibilities when it comes to Joy Boy's journey. The first theory? He was probably a lot like Luffy, traveling the world, making friends, and growing more powerful. But this made him a huge threat to the established order, leading to the 20 kings coming together to oppose him. Maybe Joy Boy even found the ancient weapons, but didn't fully understand their potential. Like opening Pandora's box, he might have set off a chain of events he couldn't control, unintentionally wreaking havoc on the world. The second theory? Joy Boy wasn't just Luffy-like. He might have been more akin to Rox D. Zebek, the most dangerous pirate in history. Rox and Joy Boy both shared big dreams and immense power. But where Luffy values friendship and loyalty, Rox was a lot more chaotic. It's possible Joy Boy found the ancient weapons and, instead of trying to preserve peace, used them repeatedly to shape the world. This could explain why the seas rose and why the 20 kingdoms united to stop him. In this scenario, Joy Boy might have been apologizing to the mermaid princess because he failed in some catastrophic way, maybe by accidentally flooding the world in his attempt to fulfill his vision. So, was Joy Boy a chaotic force of nature, like rocks, or a well-intentioned freedom fighter like Luffy? Or maybe he was something in between, someone who tried to do the right thing, but ultimately made a huge mistake. One Piece is full of characters with noble goals who go about achieving them in the worst possible ways. Just look at Big Mom, who wants a world where all races live together in peace, but runs a tyrannical empire where she steals people's lifespans. Or even Vegapunk, whose inventions, though made with good intentions, have been used to harm countless people. Could Joy Boy have been a hero who got in over his head? Or maybe even someone who started out with good intentions but let power corrupt him? And, for that matter, what about the 20 Kings? Maybe they started out with a noble goal of saving the world, but ended up creating a government that got corrupted over time. At this point, I'm dying to know what kind of story Joy Boy left behind on Laugh Tale. In chapter 967, we see Roger laughing at the tale of Joy Boy left behind. But why? Was it a tragic story? A tale of joy and laughter? Or maybe a combination of both? Whatever it was, it moved Roger so much that he wished he had been born in Joy Boy's time. And speaking of Laugh Tale, I'm still hanging on to the idea that it's either inside an island whale or underwater. I mean, that would explain why Shanks and his crew don't have devil fruits. Maybe we'll get more clues soon. But for now, the biggest mystery is still what Joy Boy's legacy really is, and how it ties into the One Piece itself. There's so much to speculate on, and honestly, I've never been more excited to dive deeper into this story. We are heading into the endgame now, and it's only going to get crazier from here. So what do you think? Is Joy Boy a hero or a villain? Could Emu have been the one trying to save the world all along? And what's Luffy's role in this massive game of freedom versus order? I want to hear all of your theories in the comments, so don't hold back. Let's piece this together and figure out where Oda is taking us next. If you loved this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you stay up to date with all things One Piece. And keep an eye out for our next deep dive. We're not done uncovering the secrets of the Void Century just yet.